Right then, we are back. Manchester United last night secured 3 points against Burnley in a hard-fought contest, which now sees us top of the Premier League. Not joint top, not top if we win our game in hand, not if three people's results go our way. We are top of the league by 3 points with Anfield to visit come Sunday. So in at number one, United are top. With obviously that hard-fought win at Burnley last night, United have returned to the top of the Premier League in the new year for the first time since 2013 under Sir Alex Ferguson. Now, we've been top of the league early in seasons and after 6 games, 8 games, that sort of stuff. But after 17 games does represent at least some progression. And considering that we've had to climb our way up the table to get into top position, it does represent something. I'm not getting carried away in terms of a title charge just yet. I randomly plucked the 25th game out of my arse to say that's when I'm going to start accepting it. Because from when I was saying it, it was probably a couple of games ago, it was another 10 games, there's another potential 30 points, or probably a lot less. And that would massively change the landscape of where we are in terms of the league. It would put us well over the halfway mark. We're right at the halfway mark, but it put us well over the halfway mark. And it's just before the running. I think the last 10 games, you really call the running. But it puts us just about there, doesn't it? So the 25 game point, that's the bit I'm talking about. But here's the fact. United are now unbeaten in 11 games when we've won 9 of those and drawn 2. Which is the longest run in the whole Premier League by a distance. And we now travel to Anfield on Sunday ahead of Liverpool in the table with the chance to extend that to 6 points. Number 2, VAR dominates. The first half was very, very cagey, and it took a while for United to get going, and it was overshadowed by some controversial VAR decisions. First up, Robbie Brady brought Edinson Cavani down as the last man, but was saved from receiving a red card as the VAR ruled that Luke Shaw to have produced a foul of his own in the build-up. More questionably, though, Harry Maguire rose the highest at the back post to connect to a really good Luke Shaw cross and score a goal with a fantastic header. And I still, for the life of me, can't find any reason why this is ruled out. VAR ruled it out for a foul, even though Maguire had already outjumped Eric Peters before seemingly putting his hands on him. I mean, there's difference between contact and a foul. There's difference between putting your hands on someone's shoulder and yanking them out of the way. Luckily, the decisions didn't affect the final result, at least, if not the final score, and didn't cost United on the night. But how typical of us it's to see Maguire finally score the sort of header that we've been asking for, only for it to get chalked off. I think there is a wider decision about the imperfections and the debate that still rages about VAR and its usage and its implementation. I don't understand how you can bring something so far back to that Luke Shaw incident to chalk off what happened with Edinson Cavani. I don't understand that in the slightest. The referee had allowed that to go on, and I think it took him that long to look at it. I'm not necessarily sure the referee got that wrong in terms of that. Luke Shaw got to the ball first. It was a 50-50. I don't really think that that's something you can bring it all the way back for. I'm not even sure that they got the right decision on the review. And I've got to think that there has to be an allowed amount of time here. You can't take it back to the last time the ball went out of play. That's nonsense. That can be minutes. And you can't have allowed everything in time. What if Brady had broke Cavani's leg? You're saying that you'd have took it all the way back and gone, well, actually, you ain't got a broken leg now because that challenge didn't happen. It fucking happened. And you allowed it to happen, so you've got this weird safety net. There needs to be like a 6-second shot clock almost. Did anything happen in the preceding 6 seconds? If it didn't, it's a fucking goal. Or it's a whatever you award it to. Because you taking it back, we'd gone through 2-3 phases of play to get to that point. And the referee hadn't stopped anything. You can't retrospectively start refereeing games like this. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The referee's decision on the pitch was, that wasn't a foul, play on. And then it goes all the way up the other end of the pitch and we have that incident. If there hadn't have been the incident with Cavani, at no point is that referee going, do you know what, I think we need to go back and look at what happened with Luke Shaw there. Nonsense. Number 3, Pogba's Premier performance. Paul Pogba definitely came to life in the second half. I was frustrated with him in the first half, not because he was playing bad, because he was playing safe. But for the whole game, he was demonstrating why he could become a serious asset for United this season, even if that is the end of Paul Pogba, if you believe what his agent's saying. And honestly, who knows whether that's a real thing or not. He won 100% of his tackles, 83% of his aerial duels, made 8 ball recoveries, 5 clearances, 2 interception, was part of a vital deep line midfield pivot with Nemanja Matic. In an attacking sense, he maintained 90% pass accuracy, made 25 final third passes, was fouled 4 times, created 2 chances, took 1 shot and 1 goal. Obviously, the decisive goal, with a volley on the edge of the box, phenomenal. And even though he looks like he's playing in a role that he doesn't necessarily prefer, he's an asset. Bruno had an off night, Bruno amongst others, I would say literally Pogba, Baye, maybe Matic had good performances or above average performances, and everybody else was pretty ordinary. Luckily, you don't need many players to have a good game to see Burnley off. But I thought he had a pretty good game, as did Eric Baye, but you don't need many players of Paul Pogba's ability to have a decent game to see over the line, and that's the one benefit of having Pogba and Bruno, is that if both of them have a good game, you're probably going to beat anyone. But if one of them has an off night, which Bruno did last night, you've still got some serious talent and potential in Paul Pogba to get you a goal and win a game. Number 4, Rashford hits an important milestone. Now, United are in a desperate need of a right winger to provide more balance to the team, and Marcus Rashford was involved in another goal while fulfilling that role on the right. Now, he's not been fully fit at times this season, and he's playing in an unfavourable position, which I don't think he's a fan of, but he is just getting on with it, which is admirable to a certain degree. I think he's less effective from the right than he is on the left, because on the left, and something that I would love to see this weekend, is him twisting inside and out with Trent Alexander-Arnold and getting a shot off. He doesn't do that on the right-hand side. It takes him a little bit longer to figure out what he's going to do. Now, that being said, he's still been directly involved in 12 goals in 17 league games with 5 assists and 7 goals, which is a phenomenal return for someone that's been pretty ordinary so far this season. More notably, now he's been involved in 50 goals in all competitions since the start of last season, which is impressive numbers. That's 36 goals, 14 assists. Very impressive numbers, especially when he was out for so long with a back injury. He's undoubtedly one of Solskjaer's most important players, and he'll play a massive, massive role in whatever happens with this title charge or the end of this season's running. Number 5, Sunday's Judgment Day. Burnley away is an awkward fixture. We've done well to come away with the 3 points there, and honestly, a draw's not acceptable there. But United have got through it, and we're now staring at the big one. Sunday, Liverpool, current champions, 3 points behind us. For too long, United and Liverpool hasn't felt very big, or certainly anywhere near as it felt in the past, because either team's been typically below par and a way off the other. However, there's now a lot riding on this. It's first versus second. If United can go to Anfield, they would end Liverpool's 67 unbeaten streak at home in the league. Now, I think the odds are way against us doing that. I would be delighted taking a draw and maintaining our gap at the top of the table. City would probably absolutely delight in a draw as well, because I think that would mean City have got the chance to overtake both of us if they win all their games in hand at that point. But there's a statement to be made. You go to Liverpool, you go to Anfield, and you end that 67-game unbeaten streak. You end it. You destroy it. Now, every time Liverpool are looking at United's results, because they're already looking at our results. They're already looking at how we play. They're already talking about our games. Seeing it all over Twitter. It's phenomenal. It's good to be back. It's good to be boiling the piss of everybody again. If United can go there and do what I think is improbable, if not impossible, when they're looking for United's results, in the back of their mind, they go, they beat us. Can we catch them? If they beat us, they're already the champions. They're the previous season's Champions League winners. They've got that confidence. And I think they've escaped a couple of pretty ordinary performances this season on the back of the confidence that they know they're a good team and it gets them through it. United don't have that confidence because we're yet to win something with this current team. And I think going to Anfield, I don't give a shit how it came off. If you can go and beat them, it's such a monumental statement. Nothing else matters now. There's no games in between. You have to treat this game like a cup final. United have not been good enough against the top 6 this season. Not been good enough by a long stretch. You now have the opportunity. You now have the chance to really put a statement, not just to Liverpool and dampen their chances, but to the rest of the league, that Manchester United are back and you better take us serious. Up the fucking Reds.